I'm going to do a bad thing. Well, maybe it's bad, maybe it's not. I'll let you be the judge. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take a recording from 1971 and pitch correct the vocal. Yes, the lead vocal is, in my opinion, out of tune, and it needs fixing. Well, it possibly needs fixing, possibly doesn't, but I'm going to fix it anyway. A bit of context. I was offered a license for the new Vovious pitch correction software, hence this video. I am experienced in this voodoo art since the last millennium with Auto-Tune, then more recently with Melodyne. My position on Auto-Tune is that I don't like the auto part. I believe that if you're going to truly help a vocal, yours, mine, or anyone else's, you should consider each note separately, and if it needs fixing, fix it manually. This is why I gave up on Auto-Tune when Melodyne came out. In my opinion, Melodyne is much better for the manual correction that I prefer. So, why Vovious? Well, I tried it, and for simple pitch correction, I prefer it to Melodyne. Reason number one is that I find it easier to use. Again, my opinion, your mileage may vary. And with Melodyne, I sometimes find that there'll be a problem that I can't correct without it sounding corrected, or even messed about with, or messed up. Vovious seems better in this respect. I'm not paid to say this, by the way. I got a free license, but there's no other payment. The developer had no influence on the content of this video, and they didn't get to see it before publication. Now, what is this out-of-tune song that I'm going to sacrilegiously fix? Well, from 1971, it's Fog on the Tyne by Lindisfarne, from the album of the same title. Written by Alan Hull, the band members share the lead vocals. But, according to my diligent researches, which I offer without guarantee, Hull sings the first verse, which I'm going to tune. Lindisfarne, not so well known in the USA, but come on, they ought to be. Go look them up, after watching my video, of course. What I'd like to consider here, by way of a review of Hull's performance, are three questions. 1. Is the vocal objectively out of tune? 2. If the answer to question 1 is yes, is the deviation from correct pitch a fault or an intrinsic and desirable part of the performance, considering the folk rock genre? 3. Are the song and its recording improved by pitch correction or not? It is an unfortunate fact that Alan Hull passed away in 1995 at the absurdly young age of 50, so he can't respond to what I'm about to do. But he seems like the kind of guy who has a sense of humour, and a sense of irony perhaps. Here's the cover of his previous album. I'll throw in here that on YouTube there's a channel that's devoted to the abuse of pitch correction, with audio examples and give the game away graphics, which is Wings of Pegasus, hosted by Phil Henley, who will give any such abuser a right royal roasting. Who knows? Maybe he'll do the same for me. Link in the description. Now, I have to say that I'm not fully fluent with Vovious as yet. Pitch correction is definitely a musical art. Knowing which buttons to press is one thing, getting a good result is another. So I'm going to stick to the very simplest functions of Vovious in this demonstration. And I'm going to use my own subjectivity to determine what's in tune, what's out, and what it should be. Your subjectivity may differ, and you're welcome to comment on that. I've extracted the vocal using RipX software, link in the description, which is an excellent tool for investigation and learning. One more thing. I have to consider fair dealing here, or fair use as the Americans have it. I'm going to put up a disclaimer for a few seconds that you can pause and read it if you wish. Or more to the point, the copyright owners' lawyers can read it so that they can see that my video is absolutely within the terms of fair dealing, fair use. Here we go. So here we are in Pro Tools, and I've got Vovious open as a standard plugin. I've already set the key to G major, which is the key of this song. It's worth bearing in mind, because I checked this earlier, that the guitar is a little bit sharp and the bass is a little bit flat. Oh, well, it's going to add more texture. But it means that what I do to the vocals to tune them, it will be subjective. So I can't just expect to tune them to the actual notes that they should be. I've got to take the backing track into account. But that's a good thing. So the first thing I need to do is to transfer the vocal into Vovious. So I click on the record button here, the host transfer button. and I play the track.
Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls. Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways, think I'll sign off the door.
Okay, there we have it, around about 12 seconds. So, centering this in the window, the first thing we notice are a series of blobs, actually notes as Vovious calls it. Melodyne calls them blobs, but it's a similar idea. And the colour of the the colour of the note, represents how close or how far it is from being in tune, as Vovious sees it. And we've also got this line here, and that is the moment by moment change in pitch. So we need to look at a combination of both the notes and the pitch line. One thing I'll note from my work with Melodyne is that when the pitch reaches a peak like that and drops down, sometimes it's that peak that you need to pay attention to rather than the overall position of the note. So I'll consider that as I go along. I'll start, I think, by soloing the track, and let's see what we get.
Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking.
Okay, so let's look at these notes here, and we can listen to each note. So I reckon that is meant to be the G just down. I'm just going to open this up a bit so I can be a bit more accurate in my selection. So you can hear that note is sharp. It is definitely sharp. So where that is a G, that is a G sharp. So I'm going to bring that down. And this one here, the same. I'm going to bring that down as well. And that looks a little bit sharper than I want it, and sharper than I want it. So we're pretty much centered on G3 now. Let's listen to it.
Sitting in a sleazy snack.
So I like that. I think that sounds in tune, and I don't need to do anything more with that. But let's see what else we get. That's one. That note's okay. So the note itself looks a little bit flat, but as I said, that peak up there, that is sometimes what we need to look at. But I will make it a little bit sharper. Let's just see. So let's listen to that in the context of the instruments. Okay, that sounds good to me. I'll solo it again. This note here is flat, definitely flat. And this one, once again, it's sometimes the peak that you need to look at, but I am going to make it just a little bit sharper. And in the context of the instruments.
Sitting in a sleazy snack bar. Sitting in a sleazy snack.
You see, that does seem sharp, and the reason it's sharp
is
because it is sharp.
Easy snack.
No, that's flat.
Easy snack.
So this is where the subjectivity comes in.
Easy snack. Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking.
And that, I'm starting to think that's sharp.
Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking.
Let's move on a bit and try this one.
Bar. Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking. Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking sickly sausage roll.
Okay, we'll move on to
bar, sucking sickly sausage.
That, and we'll flatten that a little bit.
Sickly sausage rolls. Sickly sausage rolls.
Okay, so we've got an interesting thing here. This note, it drops in pitch. So we can use one of the other tools we have here, and we can tweak that up like that, and that raises the pitch of the whole note, so I can bring it down again. Okay, I'm going to try something now which may or may not work, which is a feature of pitch correction software. Sometimes you try something and it doesn't work. So we're going to use this temporary note mode, and I'm going to select that, and I can work on just that. Because that drops a lot, I'm going to try and bring that up quite a lot. Okay, I like it. I'll just go back to where I was. I think that's better. You may disagree. A little bit sharper, maybe. Tricky to know what note that's meant to be. Let's try that. Oh, yeah. It's definitely the C, not what it was previously. This note here, sometimes it's difficult to grab the exact note you want. I'll leave that as it is. No, click the wrong one. I have practiced this actually, just so I can do this more smoothly. And from my practice, I know this is a difficult note. So we'll just try the obvious to start off with. Oh, that didn't sound so bad. Again, I can use the temporary note to do something about this drop-off in pitch at the end. It doesn't sound so bad, actually, so I really wouldn't worry that much about it, but I have the power, and with great power comes great responsibility, and I'm going to just see what I can do with it. I prefer it. I'll just take the Vovious out for the moment and just listen to that again. Play it with and without. Subjectively, not too much difference, I don't think, but I'll call myself content with it. So, I've lost my place now. No, there we go. Okay, let's go on to the next line.
Slipping down slowly, slipping down slowly, slipping down slowly, slipping down, slipping down, slipping down, slipping down slow.
So let's put those all on the G.
Slipping down slowly.
So scooped up to it a bit, which I could do something about, but I won't for the moment.
Slipping down slowly, 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 slipping down side, slipping.
I'd say this is a classic case where the note looks low in pitch, but the peak of the pitch defines it.
Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways.
Okay, we'll leave that.
Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways.
Where are we?
Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways. Think downside.
Try that a bit sharper.
Downside.
Prefer that.
Sideways, think.
Okay, a little bit flat there.
Slipping down sideways, think I'll sign off. Slipping down sideways, think I'll sign off the door.
Okay, I can see we've got some work to do towards the end of that phrase. Let's go there.
I'll sign off the. I'll sign off the door. I'll sign off the door. I'll sign off the door.
Okay, it's all very subjective.
I'll sign off the door. I'll sign off the door.
Okay, something went wrong there.
I'll sign off the door. I'll sign off the door.
It's just a little glitch in the rip of the vocal, so the pitch change is making it worse, so I'll just leave that.
I'll sign off the door.
Now, what we're going to do here.
The door, the door, the door, the door. The door, the door, the door, the door. Door, door. Door, door, door. Door, 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 door. Door, door. I'll sign off the door.
That's going to be tricky. I don't think there's a perfect solution for that, but let's just listen with and without.
I'll sign off the door. I'll sign off the door.
I'm going to say I think the tuned version is better. I wish the window would come back to the size that I've been using it at, but this is something up with which one has to put sometimes. So let's look at some of the other tricks that we have. I'm going to have to demonstrate something which doesn't really need fixing, just to show that I can. So let's just take this note here.
So
it's scooping up in pitch, and as I fix the droop in pitch in other notes, I can fix the scooping up there. Okay, didn't really need it, but I've done it anyway. And the other thing I can do is to reduce wobbliness in pitch. So if we go back to there. That doesn't sound bad, but I can reduce the wobble in the pitch there. Or the vibrato, as some might call it. Actually, that's not working very well, is it? Let's try it on this note here.
Sitting in a sleep bar, sucking sickly.
It doesn't need it, but I'm going to do it anyway and reduce the wobble.
Bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls.
And I'm going to reduce the wobble there as well.
Bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls.
And I think I actually got hold of the wrong control there. So let's just try that. I can't seem to grab that note. Anyway, let's just listen.
Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls.
Take that one down, it's irritating me.
Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls.
And the next line, let's just see if there's anything else that I can tweak.
Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways, think I'll sign off the door.
This note here, I think.
Think I'll sign, think I'll sign, think I'll sign, think I'll think I'll sign, think I'll sign, think I'll sign.
That's a bit more stable. So there's another control here. Let me just get it there. Formants. I'm not going to demonstrate this because it changes the timbre of the voice, and I think it would be a bit of an insult to Alan Hull if I haven't insulted him enough already. So I'm not going to do that. But it can make the sound a lighter tone, or it can make it a darker tone. And changing the formants can be useful for stacking background vocals. If you're doing a whole bunch of background vocals yourself, it doesn't sound as rich a texture as if you had other singers to work with. But if you don't, you can change the formants on some of your background vocals and get a richer sound. Okay, what I'm going to do is leave it there, and let's just have some demonstrations. I'm going to play you the song, the verse, without Vovious.
Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls. Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways, think I'll sign off the door.
And now with Vovious.
Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls. Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways, think I'll sign off the door. Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls. Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways, think I'll sign off the door. Sitting in a sleazy snack bar, sucking sickly sausage rolls. Slipping down slowly, slipping down sideways, think I'll sign off the door.
And that brings us back to my 3 questions for you. 1, is the vocal objectively out of tune? 2, if the answer to question 1 is yes, is the deviation from correct pitch a fault or an intrinsic and desirable part of the performance, considering the folk rock genre? 3, are the song and its recording improved by pitch correction or not? Oh, and if anyone feels that they want to dob me into Wings of Pegasus, well, I can't stop you, can I? See you soon.
I once went to see Lindisfarne, but all I got was a hydro-locked engine.